Hello, this is Kathy Ferrel. I am a national educator for Floriani. Floriani is a division of RNK Distributing. This week, I would like to talk to you about how to create a custom thread chart in your software. And to let you know how this came about, I just received the new collection of spring-summer threads. Now, these are custom colors that you have never seen before and probably won't see again in the Floriani collection. I want to make a thread chart in my software that most accurately matches these thread colors. How do you do it? And I've done this before, and I just thought I would share it with you because it's not that hard. First of all, I'd like to encourage you to look for one of these 3-in-1 color tools. This one is by Joanne Wolfram. It is amazing. It doesn't cost that much. I love this particular color tool because it includes CMYK and RGB color values, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. And I didn't even mention this, but it also translates them into Pantone colors. This little color chart has great directions, and it's very easily transportable. It comes in a plastic case, and it's very easy to use. Now, what you'll see in this is that it comes with a screw, and I've taken the screw apart so that I can fan out my colors. There's 24 different color chips, and I can fan those out and really use those for accurate color selection. This is my method for creating my custom color chart. The first thing that I did is I took that new thread color and I went to those 24 different color cards, and I found the color family that was closest to the thread color on the spool. That's number one. Number two, I took a white chip and wrapped the thread onto the white chip. So I'm not going to match it off of the thread spool. I'm actually going to wind that thread off of the spool and straight wind it onto this thread chip. And then from that thread chip, then I go into the color family that is the closest to the thread color and narrow down which color it is. Once I found that color, when you flip the card over, what you'll find is that you can even narrow it down more in color value for intensity and hue. And once you find the most accurate color, then what you're going to see is that there are those CMYK and RGB color values. So I refine that color match, and then I write down the number. So not only did I write down the CMYK color value, but the RGB. So for instance, for this particular color, the CMYK is 24, and I'm just going to use my cursor to point in here, 24060 CMYK, and this is my RGB value. R is 201, G 229, B is 236, and then this is those Pantone colors that you have. And you can look more into what is the difference between RGB versus CMYK values. But CMYK, because you have more color spectrums, you'll notice that you have more values and it's much more accurate. So I write down both of those numbers. Once I've documented my thread colors, I'm going to move over into my software, my Floriani Total Control-U software. Under my Tools menu, I'm going to come down and I'm going to select Thread Chart Creator. The first thing that I'm going to do is give it a name, Spring Summer Collection. Now, if you've never created a thread chart before, this is kind of a good place for you to know that you can create custom thread charts based on a specific project, a specific thread color. If you want to mix and match threads from different brands, you can do that. That would be done by clicking the Import button. And if I wanted to import a thread color, I would come into the Import. I would come over and choose what palette I wanted to select that from. So you'll see that there are a lot of different brands here. Here's your Floriani. If you're using Jenny Haskins, another one of our RNK thread lines, you could use Jenny Haskins. So you've got all of those options there. But the thread colors that you have in this collection are unique. These colors were created, they were selected by designers for trends that are going on, and you're not going to find these thread colors in the Floriani thread palette. So I will click on exit. So I can't import these colors. I could find a similar color, but we've got those RGB values. We went and found those on our code cards, and we can actually create our own colors. So what we're going to do is we're going to do add color here. Once you have the add color, here's a color name, and if you want to name your thread color, you can. Blue, green, yellow, orange. The color code is the number that's on the end of the thread spool. So that first thread that I have is UH3278. Now, my RGB values were 201, 229, and 236. All right, I'm going to double check my numbers. 201, 229, 236. Now, that looks pretty similar to that first color that I was showing you. Let's go ahead and add color. So we're ready for the second color, UH207. And that was 154, 102, 29. I'm going to continue and build my thread chart, and I'll be back when I've finished inputting those colors. I've got all of my colors entered in, and I did go back and click through. I checked my number right here, and I checked my RGB values just to make sure that I had the right number in. That's how you get your accuracy. Now I am ready to save this palette. So save thread color palette, and I say yes. Now that I have created that thread palette, let me just show you a quick way that you can utilize this. In July, we're going to be doing a project, and so I've got that ready to go. I'm going to select the July folder. I'm going to come over to my designs, and we're going to use this design from the Floral Tapestry collection for this project. We're going to play with the color wheel. So I'm going to come up to the color wheel for the color play, and I'm going to select a theme real quickly, and I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom and choose Beth's Favorites and say OK. So it's going to examine that design, and it's going to swap out the colors in a very pleasing theme and update the colors for me. So let me say OK, because I do like that color palette. But I want to use my thread palette with my brand new colors that I just got, that beautiful spring summer collection. Let's come down to the select thread chart and find your spring summer collection and go ahead and load it. So do you see how I've got that spring summer collection loaded down here? And these are the colors that are updated. Now let me just show you how quickly and easily I can swap out the colors very pleasingly using this specific thread color palette. On my sequence view window, under all colors, I'm going to come down and I'm going to select the first color. I'm going to use this select by colors. This is a great tool. If you have not used this before, then this is another learning instance for you. Let me select satin sheet. Select both of those colors and see how that's a number 1? Well, I'm going to match it with my thread color down here. And do you see how the software has automatically selected the color that's closest to that? So I could choose this one, but let's grab that one. Great. See, it updated that color. Let's go to the second one, which is a slate lilac. So in the original color selection, it's here, but my software says this is the color that's most close to that. So I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to come down to grape ice, the third one. I'm going to select it, and my software tells me that this is the closest color. Let's go to the next one, and I'm going to select it, and my software says, once again, this one. But you know what? I don't want to use that one again. I'm going to go and grab this one. So you can use any color, but the software will do the most color match. And it's all based on those RGB values. Here's winter spring. Let's select that one. That's a pink. Cosmic sky. When I select that one, it tells me that this is closest color match. And here's my last one. And let's grab all of those. And I'm going to come over here because I want to use all of my new thread colors. So now I have just easily and quickly updated this particular design utilizing my spring summer thread collection. Thank you so much. I hope you will tune in to the July project of the month to learn more about this wonderful feature in our software called Color Play. This is Kathy Ferrel. Until next time, thank you.